John from JO Ventures Outdoors, and today I have another traveling knife. This is the Victorinox Hunter XT, and this was originally purchased by CB Tactical, and then CB sent it to Tom at Knife Delights, who has been organizing this traveling knife, and it has been to several channels so far. You can look at the playlist. I'll have it linked down below of all the channels for all of the traveling knives, all in one playlist. And you can see all of those channels that have reviewed this. Now, this was sent to me by Big Red, JB. Thank you, JB. Thanks for sending this over and for reviewing it. Excuse me. And he did a great job. And several others have looked at this. I believe RJ and Baxter's Blades, and Tom and Knife Delights, of course, and hopefully I'm not missing someone else, and of course Big Red. So after this, before I forget, I will be sending this to Tim at Tim's School of Fish. So go check out Tim, go check out all these other channels. They just do a great job. Now these traveling knives have been making the circuit, and this is one of several that is moving around the country and being reviewed. And you saw that I had a little bit of footage in the beginning of this of some things I tested it on. I didn't really carry this. This isn't something I would carry on a daily basis. This is, I believe, marketed to hunters and campers, primarily to hunters. And when I looked up the tool set, which I'll have either as a photo later on or listed down below, the tools are really gauged towards hunters. And so hence the name Hunter XT. And so you see, first of all, you've got this big locking blade, and you can see the liner lock there. It moves the opposite direction on Victorinox knives, that lock. These one-handed openings, Victorinox. And so there are other models that are very similar that are one-handed opening, like I think it's called the Trekker, or the one-handed Trekker, I think is what it's called. And I don't have any of those models, or I would compare it. But you have this really nice non-serrated blade, and we'll see what the size of this is. So about just over a 3-inch cutting surface here, cutting edge, just over a 3-inch cutting edge. That's pretty good size. You saw it just slid right through cardboard. I mean, this is a slicer. I'm sure this would be good at food prep and like cutting meat if you were processing game and that sort of thing, doing fire sticks and doing feather sticking, I should say, and carving, doing some bushcraft type of stuff would also be very good too, I think. So very nice main blade there with a non-serrated edge and this kind of a Spyderco-ish opening mechanism that you'll see on these one-handed opening Victorinox models. Then on the other side, we have what they call a gut hook. And if you look on the Swiss Knife Shop, they call it the gut hook. And you saw what I used it for. I used it for cutting rope. It just went right through rope like butter, just like a hot knife through butter, and it just went right through rope. And so I think that could be another potential use, is to cut cordage with it. And you can see that curved, serrated edge. Also, if you use it as a rescue tool for cutting seat belts or whatever, that sort of thing, that might be a handy thing to have, like in a truck or a car, to have this tool on hand to do some of that kind of work. Now in the center part here, I didn't have any footage on me using the saw, but I did use the saw right here, and I cut a limb off of a tree, and it did really, really great that way. But they call this a bone saw. So we have a gut hook, we have the main blade, we have a bone saw. So it's meant to go through, I guess, the joints if you were cutting, if you were processing a carcass after you had harvested it. So, you know, I think that's pretty cool. And you can see the shape there, and those teeth are like a double tooth. You can see I've used it a little bit. I just cut a little limb off just to see how it would work. And it's non-locking, but still just excellent. We've got these really grippy handles meant to be to improve grip if it was wet and that sort of thing in those sort of conditions. On the back side, we have a screwdriver, number 2 Phillips. You did see some footage of me using that. It works very nicely. It's big enough that you can kind of get a nice handle on it. And so that works really well. We've got the key ring, and you can see that I've attached a lanyard to this. Little skull bead on there, and a little green lanyard with snake knots. And so I thought that would be a nice addition to this, because it does come with a really nice pouch. So I guess, you know, with other traveling knives, I have made pouches and sheaths and things, but this one didn't really need it. It has a very nice pouch that comes with it. But I thought a lanyard would be nice, and JB at Big Red did mention that would be cool. And other people have pointed out there is a little loop inside here. You could put a fire steel in there. You could put a pin in there if you carried this as an everyday carry. Again, I wouldn't carry something like this. It's just too big for me and bulky for everyday carry. But for some people, it would work really nicely. And the other thing I wanted to mention was something that RJ mentioned, is that when you're handling this, this right here really digs into your hand. And so I don't like that about this tool. There are other models that do not have this other blade here or have other implements that I'm sure are more comfortable. But if that wasn't there, this would be a very comfortable handle, I think, and give you a very nice grip. All in all, I think it's a really cool Victorinox, and I haven't had a chance to really handle the larger models. I did want to weigh it here. Got the scale off here to the side. We'll see what it weighs. It's 5.6 ounces. Let's see what the grams are. 5.6 ounces, 160 grams. So it's a pretty heavy, you know, pretty hefty tool. But I think you'd want something like that for the use that it's intended for. So I think that's okay. And so it just goes down right in its little pouch and goes on your belt. And again, I didn't carry this because it's just kind of big for my use, but I did test it a little bit, and I think it's very, very nice. The pouch is made very well. It's nylon and riveted really nicely. It's got this Victorinox emblem there, and I think that's a very nice touch. So thank you, Tom at Knife Delights. Thank you, CB Tactical. Thanks to all the other channels that reviewed this. I'll be sending this off to Tim at Tim's School of Fish. And I thank you all for watching.